So yeah, they weren't asking for anything in particular. We got Philia, H beam, H beat. Okay. And they're yeah, playing versus solo band. I see.
Do this in one take.
I got pain for that.
They made an explicit comments like, "This is a tag from a long time ago. Please don't judge me."
It was a different time.
They were a youngin.
Down back call assist. Neutral. Sort of. A little bit. Whoa. Breaky. Oh, we drop it. Interesting. It looks like we're trying to air dash.
Not quite fast enough for the punish.
They went the full gambit of buttons.
Yep. I have not been paying attention, but I should. How much are we push blocking this band? There, we got the hit. Unfortunate drop. Yeah, okay. I think first and foremost, gotta be trying to push block. It's a lot easier to relieve pressure when you're just forcing them to be farther away. And so I would encourage you to use that a whole lot more. If you don't quite remember the input, it is any two punches while you are blocking. That will push block people away. Try and step. Very patient, neutral. Yeah. Okay. Reasonable stagger pressure, just didn't hit confirm. Happens.
No, we didn't pull. Unfortunately. That giant still didn't connect. I'm surprised. This would be the moment where Terrorade would appear in chat and put in the 5 emoji.
Yeah. Pressing on the drop. I think I need to boost you a little bit more. Okay, they're not getting anything important. Yeah, so did not mean to pause. First, I mean, outside of the bush block thing, it definitely just looks like we're getting used to what we want to be doing in neutral. I will discourage you from what we saw from the band of choosing the more committal options. They can catch people out and they will feel really good in the moment when they work, but doing raw brass or raw train in neutral is usually going to end poorly, especially the heavier versions. Well, any version of train, and then these versions of brass are punishable. Oh, connection issues a little bit.
Uh-oh.
So what you were doing when you were point blank, checking with light buttons, really good habit. Love to see it. At mid ranges, you can be fishing with giant steps. Once you get used to spacing L or M brass, those are reasonable options. Just understand they are punishable and somewhat risky. Other than that, it's kind of just trying to find a way to get yourself into range to use your buttons. And so that's kind of, for band, it ends up being a lot of jumping symbols to catch people at a distance, and then once you're close enough, jump light kick. This button you're seeing all the time right here. And so this is, again, where push blocking would help relieve a lot of pressure. Because you would push them so much further away.
No, for being the one while getting hit with brass. No.
Oh, band saved the day. We got out of the corner and got hit. Finally trying to escape. No, we're trapped.
No. Bong. We got a bomb up. You need a. I could also just speak a low. I could also turn myself.
I mean, you don't need to strain yourself for this.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna turn up my mic over here so I don't have to strain myself.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Hopefully that's a little better.
Yeah, I think that'll. Yeah, and so one thing I would like to see an attempt is after, and this probably is just you not quite recognizing what is minus and what isn't. Again, you'll get that as you play more, but especially after a blocked brass, I would be fishing for light punches or light kicks. You've been pressing a little bit too late on things that could actually give you punishes. Right, we get the hit here, nice.
Bumble. Oh, no confirm. Seems like we're a little beholden to holding the down back pretty hard.
Yeah.
A little bit of turtling right there.
A lot of holding down back, kind of waiting for when it seems like our turn, and then that's when they feel out and try and press.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good press. I'm curious if you've played other fighting games, because this looks like you're used to Strive, honestly.
Yeah, Strive. You also see this in a bit of Street Fighter as well.
Yeah. This game, for the most part, has gapless pressure, or a lot more than other games will, so that's why the push block ends up being a lot more important. There are definitely points and times where you can fish for poking in between gaps, but as a default, when you're learning, I would definitely recommend defaulting to just get them off of me, because it's in a lot more forgiving way to learn the game.
I think that punish.
Oh, just barely whiffs.
Yeah, for the most part, we're just kind of not. We're just deciding to not approach, which is not something you necessarily want to do in Skull Girls. Because movement in this game can be very quickly, very, very quick and back and forth.
Yeah. Definitely seems most apparent on Big Band, which is understandable. He's liable to just get tagged by random things. But again, as I mentioned earlier, spaced brasses are a way of moving forward if you're not under any threat. So if you're at full screen, I can't remember if I was seeing you do this or if I was seeing your opponent do this. Jump heavy kick lets you tech after the recovery. So you can up forward, jump heavy kick, and then tech forward if you want to be moving forward, or if you see them running at you and you want to buy time, you can't just tech backwards again and like bail out of that situation. E-brakes are a movement option, but they're a bit rough. And other than that, you're kind of just using your normal movement options, respecting their ranges, and again, trying to get into a place where you can threaten stuff like Crouch Heavy Punch, Symbols, Giant Step. Oh dear.
Oh my gosh, that was happening in real time. Wow.
And eventually get close enough for stuff like Jump Light Kick or your Round Lights. Your jab is a really good like kind of just stuff check. Your 2LP and 2LK are both really good for like just random stagger pressure. And this is again specifically for band. Robo, I don't know how often I see you go for sweep, but that's her usual spacing button. Other than that, I mean, the character's neutral is more so run away than anything else. It looks like you're getting a feel for that, understanding where and when you are and aren't safe. And then the Philia...
The Robo, for the most part, was just kind of down backing, trying to press crouch leg.
Yeah.
While man was in the air with buttons. And we kind of saw that a little bit with Philia. We're going for the same option, not trying anything different. So they're a little timid, I'd say.
Yeah, and
about approaching, which is fair.
Especially against solo band.
Yeah. Solo band do be exploding.
Okay, yeah. So sweep, and you don't even need to dash up as much as you did there for your sweep. It's incredibly active and it goes really far. But yeah, I think the biggest
Yeah, we're
thing that will
similar on
help
that side.
you is push blocking. Push
Yes.
blocking. Push blocking basically lets you reset neutral until your opponent stops it from happening, but that's well into the future, and then that's where you start getting into the different layers of offense and defense. But right now, we still just got to work on getting the push block out in the first place, because that will buy us a lot of time to try and attempt neutral again.
I wonder what input, like what controller they're using. What a parry! May not have been on purpose, but that was very cool.
Oh, the medium punch, unfortunate. Yeah.
I wonder what input configuration they're using. Like if it's like stick or anything, because it seemed to be going from down back to neutral, and then going back to down back.
Yeah. So there again, I don't think there's gonna end up being all that much else to say. It's yeah, I'm gonna have to fix after that. Yeah, push blocking I think will help you a lot. Experimenting with other buttons. You are doing a lot of crouch light punch or crouch light kick for your characters, which are good, but it really depends from character to character. Robo's crouch light kick is nothing special, and I think I saw you pressing that more than her crouch light punch. And her
Mm-hmm.
crouch light punch is unironically one of the better anti-airs in the game, or at least one of the better low commitment anti-airs. So in scrambles, that's perfectly understandable to be pressing a fair amount. Again, her sweep is solid. When it comes to her zoning, I think, and then this is also more just because band is weird. You can afford to be a little bit more patient, because if you just default into jump heavy punch M beam, you will get checked by brass, and a lot of characters can kind of work around that. So I would focus on getting further away before you try and set things up as a universal rule, because if you look at the best robos, they're not honestly shooting all that many beams. It's a lot more based around picking and choosing the best time to shoot a beam rather than getting the max amount of beams out.
Mm-hmm.
And so getting used to her movement, she's really good movement, whether it's her ground dash being the fastest in the game or getting used to using her jump heavy kick to act as a float or to get her like a little bit higher into the air, especially combine that with a super jump. Um, and then I talked about band a lot, so I'm not going to necessarily reiterate everything I've already said.
Fair.
Um, but yeah, that's getting a lot more comfortable with the characters, trying to figure out a game plan. And I think you're at the point, like, first and foremost, where you just keep playing the game more and you'll start understanding what you want to be doing with all your characters. I don't know if you have anything else, JP.
I would say at this current juncture, probably a good thing to do is go play against bots. And there's it's low commitment, and I would suggest getting used to just moving forward, just pressing the forward buttons, using different options. Gets you more comfortable.
Yep, I definitely, and especially if you want an intermediate area. I know you said you were rusty, so you're also dropping combos, etc. Um,
Mhm.
Honestly, in my opinion, it's a great place to practice combos because it's not the same pressure as a online match. Until I was like multiple hundred hours into the game, would go into bots occasionally. It was just like it's an option not everyone considers.
Yeah. You could just be a masochist like me and just throw yourself to the wolves and be like, "Oh man,
Yeah, it's the QM road is a rough one.
it'd be a very difficult one."
Wraps that up. For the record, if you have additional questions, feel free to ping me. Um, after you've watched this, and like if I didn't explain something well, or if you had a question that you don't think I addressed, yeah, just shoot a ping and I'll get to it when I see the ping. And yeah, this is a resource for helping you. Know, if anything ends up being confusing, let me know and I'll try and elaborate further for you.